Hello, everyone. I had to take care of a family emergency, so I wasn't able to discuss the situation with little Boosie and his oldest daughter, Ivy. And so I hadn't had time to look at the video or the interview. He was on Carisha Please with the entertainer, rapper, Young Miami. So I was able to look at the video clips, and I also looked at the full 12-minute video with Boosie's oldest daughter, Ivy. And I really found the content very emotional, and I saw a lot of heartbreak and pain in Ivy, understandably so. And I went and I looked at different clips of the interview with little Boosie on Carisha Please. And some of the clips were edited, so I was finally able to find the full video, at least the portion of where Carisha asked little Boosie, why are you always in gay people's business? End quote. She said that, and it was interesting that she asked that question, because I understand that Carisha, aka Young Miami, has a son, and a few years ago she made a very disturbing homophobic comment about her own son. She was basically expressing that if her son is gay, or if her son ever turned gay, then she would physically harm him. And you can look at her statement from, I guess it was something she said verbally, or it was either in a written interview form. But she took a lot of flack for that back at that time. And she has since then basically acknowledged that she was wrong for making such a comment about her own biological son. And she basically, in this same interview where she asked the rapper Boosie why he was always in gay people's business, he proceeded to explain that he is not in gay people's business. But I don't agree. I believe that he has put himself in gay people's business. And I'll explain to you here very soon why I think so. But based on Boosie's answer to Carisha did admit that she had mistakenly, or she was wrong to make very harsh, judgmental criticism about her thoughts about her own son being gay. Now, I don't think her son is actually gay. I'm not sure the history behind why she made that statement about her son being gay. She would physically harm him. She did use other verbiage, but due to YouTube, I'm not going to make that statement verbatim, but you can search for yourself if you really want to know what Carisha said. However, I will give her credit for acknowledging that she was wrong and that she has matured. And she stated in the interview that I was wrong, and I understand that people can be themselves. People are allowed to be themselves. People are different. And she stated, we were taught, or we were raised, that it's wrong to be gay. But people are different. and everybody is not the same. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing what she said, but you can look at the interview yourself to see what she says verbatim. I also am aware that Caresha Please is best friends with a very famous rapper who is a gay rapper, and they're best friends. They were best friends at the time she even made that discriminatory statement about her son. And his name is Santana, I believe. I might not be saying his rap stage name exactly, but I think it's Santana. But he is a gay rapper. He and Caresha Please, or rather Caresha, aka Young Miami, are best friends. So she has a male gay best friend. And I think that her relationship with Santana has also softened her heart about how she feels about gay people. But here's the interesting twist with Young Miami. Young Miami is a part of the LGBTQ plus community herself. She likes women. She also likes men, so she would be considered bisexual. And the contradictory and hypocritical way for people to behave is asinine, and it shows you that people are not educated about sexual orientation. And that's a big reason why I started my own academy, because of this issue. Like, it's people even within the LGBTQ plus community who can be homophobic, biphobic, transphobic, and we have to start with ourselves first. And my academy is Giselle Wallace Lesbian Academy. You can find the link to my academy to register here on YouTube. Please register. I'd love to see you in class. I think educating ourselves is mandatory. We should definitely educate ourselves about sexual orientation, because it starts with us, because we have been hurt. We have been mistreated. We have been deceived about who we are as lesbian, gay, bisexual, and LGBTQ plus people. In most cases, like Caresha said, and even little Boosie said, they were raised that being gay is wrong. I was raised the same way. So we have that in common. But the issue is we're not educating ourselves about sexuality and sexual orientation. And LGBTQ plus people need to start there first, because you identify as either lesbian, gay, bisexual, pansexual, trans, asexual. Wherever you are within that acronym of LGBTQIA+, we are not heterosexual. Or you may be a person who is maybe not a part of the LGBTQ community, but you know someone who is a part of the LGBTQIA+ community, a loved one, a friend, or a family member. And we all should educate ourselves. So that means even heterosexual people need to educate themselves about sexual orientation and about other people's sexual orientation, because that creates self-awareness, and you'll be able to create better relationships with people. But I do commend Caresha Young Miami for maturing and creating a space to discuss sexual orientation. I'm glad that she brought that up on her platform. I really am. And I think by her doing so, it allowed an avenue Even though young Boosie has clearly stated that he is against homosexuality and that he does not approve or support his daughter Ivy as being a lesbian, what it did is it created an opportunity for his daughter to get on camera and express herself. And I'm so happy that she did. Because this creates an opportunity for us to talk about being gay and what it means to you and what it means to others. I was listening to Ivy, and I'm very proud of her, a beautiful Black lesbian woman. And she mentioned something that really touched my heart. She said that she has a lot of people who come to her and ask her all the time, or they basically assume and say, your father must be so proud of you. And she said, you know, I don't remember the last time my dad told me I'm proud of you. And she was very candid. She was very direct, very clear, very vulnerable, honest, and loving in her delivery to her father, but not just to her father, to the world. Because what Boosie has done is, without even considering his daughter's feelings or thoughts, he has took to the internet, took to the social media press, his disdain about her sexuality of being a lesbian or being gay, however you prefer to use the verbiage. And his daughter stated that she always respected her father, and she never went against her father by going to social media. And I think that that shows a lot about her character. This is a very intelligent, respectful young lady. And I think it shows who is the better person. I think Ivy is the better person. And she's mature. And she's responsible. And she acknowledges who she is. And I love that. Despite the fact that her father has ridiculed her publicly, she has remained calm and she's kept her dignity. But as she said, since her father has continuously, repeatedly bashed her for being herself, a gay woman, at some point she has to address it, and she did. And that's what I mean by I'm glad that Carisha asked little Boosie the question, why are you always in gay people's business? And more directly, she said, your daughter, when your daughter came out to you, what did you think? And Boosie answered the question. And he made a statement that was very harsh and inconsiderate of his daughter, but not just his daughter, all of his children, who I'm sure love their sister very dearly. He said that he does not allow his daughter Ivy to bring her lifestyle around his children because he does not want to contaminate them. He used the word contaminate. He considers being gay an act of contamination or to be contaminated. In other words, he's saying that his daughter will poison and negatively influence her younger sisters or brothers because she is a lesbian. You know, words are powerful. The Holy Scriptures teach us that life and death is in the power of the tongue. You don't have to physically harm a person or take someone out of this world by force. You can do it with your tongue, with your mouth. And this is happening. We were witnessing this. If you saw words come out of Boosie's mouth and it hurt you, and you're not even his daughter or his son, that's the power of the tongue. And I could hear the people in the audience react, gasping, showing expression of being displeased with what Boosie said about his own daughter, that he doesn't want her to contaminate his other children. And I'm pretty sure he meant he doesn't allow her to bring a girlfriend around. He probably dictates how she dresses and what she says. Even if she's not even in a relationship, I'm sure he doesn't allow her gay friends to come around his house, around his children. And you know what? That's his prerogative. It is. It's his right. If he has a house, he pays his bills. Sure, he can say who can come and who cannot. And if his children are still underage, in which I believe they are, because Ivy said that all of her siblings are mostly teenagers. So they could be still underage. I guess they're under the age of 18, because in some, depending where you live and what state you're in, if you're under the age of 18, you're still a minor. All right. Okay, so he has this control over his children. But what he doesn't understand is that his children have a mind of their own. That he cannot control them like they're a robot. And if he could, then his daughter Ivy would not be a lesbian. And if he could control his other children, they wouldn't love their sister. Because he talks horribly about his own daughter as a father. And you think that's a good example as a father? To disrespect your oldest firstborn child? Don't you know that your other children are watching you as a father? Do you think disrespecting your children is going to make them respect you? No, they won't. But I'm so glad that they, as siblings, love each other, and that they're communicating with each other, and that they're not letting their father keep them divided, because for so many years and so many lives have been devastated by the dysfunction of hatred because somebody is gay, because somebody is LGBTQ plus. You feel entitled to separate and divide your family instead of educate them and love them. And Ivy said something very powerful. She said, you know, my father does take care of his children financially, but she said he is horrible at being there for them emotionally and mentally. A father takes care of his children emotionally and mentally and financially. So it sounds like Boosie has work to do regarding fatherhood. And I think he should start with not ever speaking against his daughter again. It's one thing for you to speak alone, one-on-one with your daughter, in which he obviously is not doing, because Ivy said he never has had a conversation with her that has been loving and kind. He's never asked her about her feelings or why she is gay. I mean, you can ask those questions, but the issue is, instead of asking her questions and trying to understand his daughter and being kind and loving to his daughter, he has insulted his daughter. He has berated his daughter. He has mistreated his daughter, and he thinks he's right. That's the spirit of pride. This is clearly showing you that being a hateful person leads to dysfunction, and his house is divided. It doesn't matter how many rules Boosie lays down. It doesn't matter how much child support. Well, he said he doesn't pay child support, but he says he pays a lot of money, shells out a lot of money to take care of his children, and he considers that being a father. But it doesn't matter how much money you give your children. If you don't take time out of your life to love your children, to respect your children, then you've wasted your time. I'm so glad that Ivy spoke out, and she said that she never gets on social media. That is not who she is, because she respects her father. She honors her father. She even said, "I love my father." But she said that enough is enough. And sometimes you have to address it to the public, because Boosie addressed his criticism to the public, and he feels like he has the right to do so. So she has the right to tell you from a distance. Unfortunately, she had to get on either a camera or a cell phone to address you, Boosie, to let you know how she feels, because you would not allow her to be herself with you in your house. And that's sad. That's devastating. We can all learn from little Boosie and Ivy's father-daughter relationship when it comes to our differences, because we need to address sexual orientation in the home. The first thing Boosie was saying is, he mentioned his religion, his faith, his religion. But he's got it all backwards, and I'm going to tell you why. Your religion should not be your priority. Your family should be your priority. You should have been taking care of home. Because if you want to bring religion up, if you knew the scriptures, if you studied the scriptures, the word of God, then you would understand that a man is not fit to lead in a church if he does not lead in his own home. We are all different, every one of us. And our differences are not a bad thing. They're actually beautiful, and they have purpose. But we won't ever know that if we don't learn how to communicate with each other and love each other. We're not going to always agree, but that doesn't mean that we have to be ugly and mistreat people. At the end of the day, we're here because God allows us to be here. And we should celebrate each other, celebrate our family, celebrate our sexual orientation, celebrate loving each other instead of bringing each other down and tearing each other down. I'm so proud of you, Ivy, even if your father, Boosie, has never told you. Keep being yourself, keep speaking up, and keep doing you. And you're going to be successful with your music because you're already successful as a woman of God. Because she said that she knows her God. She knows God. She said her mother brings her to church, not Boosie. Boosie don't even bring her to church. Keep loving God, because one thing about bigoted, homophobic people, they love to use God's name to mistreat gay, lesbian, bisexual, and LGBTQ plus people. And she has shown that she didn't allow her father to destroy her relationship with God. And she does not allow her father to destroy who she is as a Black gay woman. And I love that. I am Giselle Wallace. I'm a certified gay life coach and author. Thank you for listening. Please contact me if you're interested in receiving life coaching. I'm here for you. All of my contact information is here on YouTube in the description box. Have a gay day.